שאמות משהו ממני, משהו ממני ימות בך, ימות בך. כשתמות משהו ממך בי, משהו ממך בי ימות איתך, ימות איתך. כי כולנו, כן כולנו, כולנו רקמה אנושית אחת חיה, ואם אחד מאיתנו הולך מעימנו, משהו מת בנו, משהו נשאר איתו. אם נדע איך להרגיע, איך להרגיע את האיבה, אם רק נדע, אם נדע להשקיט את זמנו על חרבוננו, לומר סליחה, אם נדע להתחיל מההתחלה. כי כולנו, כן כולנו, כולנו רקמה אנושית אחת חיה, ואם אחד מאיתנו הולך מעימנו, משהו מת בנו, משהו נשאר איתו. נשאר איתו. תחת השמיים לכל זמן ועת לכל for birth and a time for death, a time to plant and a time to uproot the planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to tear and a time to build. La
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו ביצה טובה מלפניך והושיענו למען שמך והגין בעדינו והסר מעלינו אויב דבר וחרב ורב ויגון והסר שטן מלפנינו ובצל כנפיך תסתירנו כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו אתה ובצל כנפיך תסתירנו כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו אתה כי אל מלך חנון ורחום אתה ושבור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם ועד עולם.
When I wake up in America, I see my neighbors there, with every kind of clothes and shoes, hats and skin and hair, every fine belief and custom, scores of songs from who knows where. When I wake up in America, our stories fill the air. Wake up, wake up, wake up in America. The light in the harbor, it shines for us all. When I wake up in America, when I wake up in America, I hold my head up high, and I find my way as others do, beneath the same big sky. I recite the Pledge of Allegiance in a voice both clear and strong. When I wake up in America, I'm right where I belong. Wake up, wake up, wake up in America. The light in the harbor, it shines for us all. When I wake up in America, see the kids playing, happily swaying. Good to be staying in this sacred place, with every faith and race. When I wake up in America, I put away my fear, and I love my neighbor as myself. And I say, I'm glad you're here. We have found ourselves together in this land we dreamed could be. If we wake up, America, everybody still can be free. Oh, wake up, wake up, wake up in America. The light in the harbor, it shines for us all. When I wake up, when you wake up, if we wake up, please wake up, America.
Hello, neshama, neshama, shenatata bi, neshama, neshama, shenatata bi, Neshama, 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 Ata verata, ata yetzareta, ata verata, ata yetzareta, ve'ata nefachta bi. Ve'ata, 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 ואתה נפחת בי ואתה נשמה בקרבי נשמה 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 ואתה נשמה 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 כל זמן שהנשמה בקרבי נשמה בקרבי מודה אני מודה אני לפניך Adonai Elohai Elohai Avotai Ribon Kol HaMasim Adonai Kol HaNeshamot Baruch Atah Chazir Neshamot Neshamot Live Gorim Neti
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops stumble all around, heaven open a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain.
Somewhere over the rainbow
wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me.
Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then oh why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me.
Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then oh why can't I?
If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
And you
Wow, everyone just got so quiet. I don't know what happened, 6:31 and a half or something like that. It's very nice. Hi, everyone at home. Shabbat Shalom. And welcome, everybody. People staying warm? Yeah? Ish? Okay. Wow. We're going to begin tonight with Yedid Nefesh. It's a great pleasure to have Cooperberg Master Rabbinical Intern Marcus Hawley on the bima, leading us in song tonight. So here we go. No pressure. No pressure. You know.
Super chill, low stakes. Everything's great.
So I've been supporting music at CBST. Yes. It's on page 34. Yedid Nefesh. Has anyone in the room never been here before or not been here for a while? Look at this amazing crew. Okay, well, I want to give you the opportunity, if you're comfortable or would like to push your comfort zone, to say your name and where you're coming from. If you want to introduce yourself to the community, would you like to say hi?
Yes, hello, hi everybody. My name is Shirit.
Sure.
Shirit, I'm Yael's sister.
Ah.
Little sister. I'm younger. And I'm visiting here from, I'm in Israel. I live in Lana, in Israel.
Okay, Baruch haba, Shirit. Okay, welcome, Shirit. Thank you. Anyone else over here? There were a few people over here. Yeah, do you want to start?
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm visiting about a year ago, and this is my first time here.
Robin, welcome. Who else over here? Yeah, in the front.
I'm Jess. I am from Michigan originally. I've lived in Long Island for about a year, and I just recently moved to Queens.
Nice. Was that Jess or Jazz?
Jess.
Jess. Okay. Hi, Jess. Jess from now Queens, formerly Long Island. Thank you. I'm also saying that so that the people at home can, greet you if they come in person or whatever, so that's Jess who's over there. Okay. Well, yes.
Also Jess. Moved to Manhattan about a month ago. You were with David. From where?
You said Jess also? Okay. And?
David, member here, just haven't been back in a little while. So.
Great. Hi, Jess, and hi, David. And I think I'm doing a really bad job kind of gesturing because I think we're doing like everyone gets to go all at the same time. Please, yes, go ahead. Samantha from Brooklyn, and?
Oh, I'm Dean. I'm from New Jersey.
And Dean from New Jersey. New Jersey in the house. Nice. Yes. Where in New Jersey?
Oh, I live in Union City. I'm like 20 minutes from the Lincoln Tunnel.
Union City and 20 minutes from the Lincoln Tunnel. It's like the whole pack. I love that. Okay. I grew up in New Jersey too, so it's okay. Anyone else over here? Yes.
Sydney. I've been in New York for about 8 years now. I'm here with my partner.
Hi, Sydney. And you're here, you said, with your? Hi. Okay, great. We just met. Thank you. Great. Anyone else in this area who's new or wants to say hi? Okay, how about over here? How about upstairs? This is a group of Vatikin, of veterans? Seems that way. Okay, I'll take it. Well, I want to invite this evening for candle lighting. Earlier we had that kind of a new member gathering that some folks came to. So if you're a new member of CBST and want to come up here and join for lighting the candles, perhaps you can come up together with Bonnie and with Mike, our membership folks. Does that work for you both? Great. And light the candles together. We're on page 38 in our prayer books if you'd like to follow along. So nice.
Yeah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik shel Shabbat.
Welcome, and thanks all of you. Shar Kochachem, you can return to your seats. And we'll join together and sing Shalom Aleichem on page 40. If you're new here, it's customary here for us to stand, and if you're comfortable linking hands with the person next to you, please feel free as we join together on page 40. See. I suppose we can tell when the weather's getting a little chillier, when a little extra warmth inside here with one another is part of what we need to really bring the end of the weekend on a high note. It's wonderful to have people here, newcomers and people who have been here for years, for generations. It strikes me that most Sidurim, most prayer books, start the Kabbalat Shabbat service, the formal service welcoming Shabbat, with the words L'chu niranena, like let's sing joyously. And before we continue to sing joyously and even use those words, there's a way in which positioning psalms that teach us to sing, right? So it's a little self-referential. Like, here's a psalm, and by the way, the very first thing we're going to say in the psalm is sing. L'chu niranena, let's sing joyously. Joyce mentioned to me yesterday, that was actually how I got the news, that that one of the great singers of our generation, great Jewish singers, Corinne Al in Israel, died young this week in her 60s, right? 69, yeah. And Corinne Al means a lot to a lot of people, including the fact that she was someone who was out long before that was a popular thing to do. We wrote a little biography. Joyce wrote a little biography of her that's really beautiful in your program, which I won't try to replicate. But just as I was just watching last night some interviews about her, it struck me that this song, there's a song that appears in our prayer book on page 248, Ein li eretz acheret, which is maybe her most popular, or the really most popular, associated with her, that when she was interviewed just recently in the past year, the interviewer asked her about her home and the complexity of what it meant to grow up in Tunisia and grow up in a Christian school and have certain assumptions kind of made about you or allowances for being made fun of in certain ways, as in that case somebody who was not Christian, what it meant to leave Tunisia and not be told until you were on the plane with your mother that you were flying to France and you were not going back to your home in Tunisia. What it meant to eventually go to Israel and sometimes feel like an outsider there, or visit Tunisia years later. And it's really some beautiful and raw personal musings about home that I recommend to you, and it's available online. And in this song, which I think in a lot of ways became a protest hymn when the 1982 Lebanon War happened in Israel, I read this with this just incredible sense of sort of like desperation, like this intensity that something is so in our kishkas, a home that might be burning, a home that's indescribable, besides knowing it is the only one. And recognizing, years and years after this song was written, sort of how much has stayed the same while other things have changed. and this notion of a land that's so dear to so many people that still continues to burn, and a land that is deep, deep, deep in the veins of so many. I'll read the words in English, and maybe I'll read some of the words in Hebrew as well. If you want to follow me on 248. I have no other homeland, even when my ground is burning. Only one Hebrew word pierces my veins into my soul. Though I am racked with pain, though my heart is hungry, this is my home. I must speak, for my homeland has changed. I can't be silent, I must remind her, and I will sing into her ear until she opens her eyes. I have no other homeland, until she renews her days, until she opens her eyes. Joyce, I'm kind of getting the sense that there's this undercurrent of people singing in the room, so I kind of think we should let them lead and join with everyone together who knows this or wants to sing it together. Shall we? You to join with me on page 6 of your handouts, prayer for the return of the hostages and for peace. Avinu Shabashamayim, our loving guardian in heaven, our rock and redeemer, bless and protect the land of Israel and all who dwell within it. We urgently pray that those held hostage in Gaza will return home to their loved ones. And we pray for ongoing healing for those who have been released. We pray that those suffering in Gaza, civilians hungry and in need of healing, will return home to build and live in healthy communities. We pray to see the day when Israelis and Palestinians, Jews and Christians and Muslims will dwell under their fig trees and grapevines, whether in Tel Aviv, in Ramallah, or in Gaza City, and no one will make them afraid. May there be no more death, no more senseless loss for Israelis or for Palestinians. May there be safety, justice, self-determination, hope, and a healthy future for all. Bikarov uvyaminu, speedily in our days, and let us say, Amen. L'chu neranena, let's sing joyfully. Page 52, we'll join together as we welcome Shabbat.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. ישנו נקדמה פניו בתודה נריה נריה לצור ישנו הזמירות נריה לו
At the asterisk, Zamrul Adonai.
Zamrul Adonai Lechinor, Lechinor V'kol Zimra, B'chatzrotzot V'kol Shofar, Arim Lifnei HaMelech
Page 62, please rise in body or spirit for the 29th Psalm.
Levanon, Messiah.
Feel free to have a seat. It is a celebratory night at CBST. Earlier tonight, we welcomed some new members of the community at there's a debate whether you call this a pro-neg or a pre-neg, when you have like a little oneg moment before the service. I'm not sure what we settled on. And after services, besides our regular oneg Shabbat, Aleinu, our 20s and 30s group, is having this drag show, which is, of course, what we do in the shul on Friday nights, because we, not only as queer Jews, but I think as Jews in general, have come to understand Friday evening as a time for great celebration, for singing, for fabulosity, and the song, Lecha Dodi, very, very young in our liturgy, only 450 years old or so, Spring Chicken, is on page 66. And every week we get to sing these 9 verses. We get to have a wedding, which is funny because we don't usually do weddings on Shabbos in our tradition. But in Shul, every Friday night we do this special wedding, maybe between God and the Jewish people, or maybe the Kabbalists would say the different parts of God. So let's celebrate and sing and welcome Shabbat and be connected to Shabbat and to one another. Page 66.
Share.
What a wedding. Take a breath. This is the moment we're taught that we inhale our neshama yetera, our second soul, our extra spirit, our extra breath, to rest some more, to eat some more, to sleep some more, to connect some more, to be extra present over this next day. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, page 72, a psalm for Shabbat.
Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat.
Let's read a kavanah, an intention for our prayers at the bottom of page 75. Feel free to join me in English at the bottom of 75. Praise me, says God, and I will know that you love me. Condemn me, says God, and I will know that you love me. Praise or condemn me, and I will know that you love me. Sing out my graces, says God. Raise your fist against me and be angry, says God. Sing out graces or express anger. Anger is also a kind of praise, says God. But if you sit fenced off in your apathy, says God, if you sit entrenched in, I don't give a damn, says God, if you look at the stars and yawn, if you see suffering and don't cry out, if you don't praise and you don't condemn, then I created you in vain, says God. We turn to page 78 and rise in body or spirit for Baruch Hu, the beginning of our evening service. And welcome everyone who just has joined us in the past few minutes.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Feel free to be seated and feel free to join me on page 81 in English as well. Praised are you, eternal one, our God, ruler of all time and space, whose word brings on the evening dusk. With wisdom you open the gates of dawn. With understanding you make time pass and seasons change. You arrange the stars in the sky according to your plan. You create day and night, rolling light into darkness, darkness into light. You cause the day to fade away and bring on night. You separate day and night. Source of all forces is your name. Living and everlasting one, rule over us forever and ever. Praised are you, eternal one, who brings on evening's dusk. The asterisk.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdir ben yom uben laila, Adonai tzevaot shemo, El hai v'kayam, tamid yimlok aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'aravi.
Page 86, we'll sing together, surrounding the Shema with love, Ahavat Olam, an everlasting love.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Torah ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We'll continue through page 92 on our own.
Adonai Elohim Emet.
We transition to Michamocha, our oldest redemption song, and that one that we're enjoined to sing twice daily, in the evening and in the morning, fulfilling the rabbinic interpretation of the injunction to remember the Exodus all the days of our life. All the days? Why not just the days? All the days, the days and the nights. So some say today's days and also the days of the Messiah. But we linked that last paragraph of the Shema telling us about the Exodus and telling us that wearing tzitzit on the corners of our garments are a reminder of our relationship with God. And this relationship, in a lot of ways, begins with this most ancient song, this opportunity to express gratitude that we repeat over and over again. We're at 94, page 94.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 98. Hashkivenu. May we lie down in peace. May we lie down in peace tonight. May people in our circles who aren't in the room also lie down in peace tonight. And may people in their circles beyond them lie down in peace tonight. We are in a world that needs much peace. Thank God, sometimes we forget that there is a lot of peace. The fact that we can sit here tonight and be privileged enough to pray together and be joyful together and connect together and know one another is an example of peace, of shalom that sometimes we take for granted. And yet, we're near a police station, and although they tend to do traffic-y stuff, the fact that law enforcement exists and the fact that abuse of power exists in law enforcement is a reminder that we live in a city, in a country that's still striving for peace and for wholeness. It has not been a week in which, well, let me rephrase that. I think it has been a week in which lots and lots of people have felt an utter lack of peace. Whether it's hearing the acquittal in court of people that maybe people should have thought the verdict should have been different, and wondering where justice and peace will come from, where solace will come from. People 6,000 miles away in Syria, many of whom are connecting with loved ones who they might have presumed dead, that they haven't seen in years, who mysteriously disappeared, and many of whom are having it actually confirmed for them that loved ones are dead, and some of whom are still trapped in sub-basements of horrendous prisons under the ground. Families and friends in Israel still on the brink of holding hope and also feeling at times wondering if the hope is really there, about what it really would mean for hostages to come home, what the pathway is to that. How to ask for that and how to strategize about that and not just say it without a pathway. What it means to live in Gaza, in the most densely populated place on earth, and think that maybe you've found solace in a home, only to be utterly displaced or come home to have most of your family destroyed before you. There's a need of a lot of peace. And this image of God's Sukkot Shalom, of a Sukkah of peace, is a Sukkah that can really encompass the whole world, that can be even bigger than the oceans, bigger than the atmosphere, bigger than the biggest sukkah that our sages maybe say is even permissible in the Talmud. But it is possible. It could happen if we all continue to not just pray for peace, but put those words into action, find even the little ways in which we can bring more redemption to the world and connect that redemption we just sang about to a hopeful image of guarding every single person's journey, U'shmor tzeitenu uvoinu, all of our journeys for life and for peace, not just now, but forever. Please, God, spread your shelter of peace over us, all the entire Jewish people, the entire queer community, and all who live on earth. We sing together on page 98.
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai. Haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al kol ha'amim, ve'al Yerushalayim.
As we prepare for the Amidah, we'll turn to page 102 and rise in body or spirit. Chatzi Kaddish is on page 104. After Chatzi Kaddish, we'll transition to some time for quiet prayer. You can use the words of the Amidah beginning on page 106 and the next few pages, or the other readings in the prayer books, or the promptings of your own hearts. First, Chatzi Kaddish 104.
Yitgadol v'yitgadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Ve'alma divra kirutei ve'yamlik malhutei.
V'chayek kol yom ekon uv'chayek kol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uv'izman karev v'himeru.
V'yishtabak, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha. Le'ela min kol birhata, v'shirata. Tush v'chata v'nechemata, damiran le'alma, v'imeru.
Feel free to continue your personal prayers. We're going to pick up on page 116 in the middle of the page. Shalom Rav, abundant peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata
Though Shabbat is traditionally not the time for petitionary prayers, we put life first and we pray for healing even on Shabbat. So at this time, I want to call to mind Eliyahu ben Yisrael, Simon Gaines, Ariel Levinson, Beth Robin, Ruth Bat Chana Avraham, Linda Solomon, Judith Tax, Shep Wahnun, Ishaya ben Gitzel Label. That's interesting. Deborah Zeitlin. And invite you, if anyone is thinking of someone who's in need of healing, to say their name or your relationship to them out loud. Misha berach imotenu Sarah Rivka Leah Rachel Bilha v'Zilpa v'avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'yivarech v'yirapeh et kol hacholim ha'eleh HaKadosh Baruch Hu yimaleh rachamim alehem lahachzikam u'lrapotam leishlach lehem mehera refuah shlema refuat hanefesh refuat haguf betoch sha'ar chalei Yisrael v'chol yoshvei tevel. May the one who blessed all our ancestors bless and heal all those who are in need of healing. May they be blessed with a full and complete healing, a healing of spirit and a healing of body, together with all of those who are ill among the Jewish people and among the world. May those who will not be healed on this earth be blessed with nights free from suffering and days filled with peace. May God grant strength and comfort to those who care for the sick, and may God help us to find hope and courage as we face fear and loss. May all who are ill be surrounded by the love of friends, loving companions, family, and community. And let us say, Amen. Liz Cooper, can I ask you to read a prayer for our country? Thank you so much. I have it here if you want to choose. You can follow the prayer and join in the prayer for our country on page 8 of the program.
You get to choose. Personal. Okay. Sorry. We'll do the top. Our God and God of our ancestors, bless this country and all who dwell within it. Help us to experience the blessings of our lives and circumstances, to be vigilant, compassionate, and brave. Strengthen us when we are afraid.
Help us to channel our anger so that it motivates us to action. Help us to feel our fear so that we do not become numb.
Help us to be generous
With others so that we raise each other up. Help us to be humble in our fear.
knowing that
As vulnerable as we feel, there are those at greater risk, and it is our holy work to stand with them. Help us to taste the sweetness of liberty, not take for granted freedoms won generations past or in recent days, to heal and nourish our democracy, that it may be like a tree
planted by the water,
whose roots reach down to
the stream. It need not
fear drought when it comes. Its leaves are always green. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Kaddish Shalem is on page 138. Thank you.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash me'raba. Be'alma divrachirute ve'amlik malchute b'hayekon v'yomekon v'hayedekol beit Yisrael b'galai v'zman kari v'himeru. Amen. Yehesh me'raba mevorach be'olam be'almaya Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitbar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemeda kudesha Le'ela min kol birhata v'shirata tishbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'himeru. Amen. Titkabel slaton uvoton d'kol Yisrael kadem uvoton divishmaya v'himeru. Amen. Yehesh lamarabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'himeru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimramav uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael ve'el kol yoshvei tevel v'himeru. Amen.
Shkach. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It seems like this is one of those weeks that begins with when the temperature is close to 20 degrees Celsius and kind of ends when it's closer to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. How many of you have kind of had the one more layer, one less layer, heat on, heat off, window? There's been a lot of that, I think, this week. There was one day at the office where, like, I don't know what happened here, but the thermostats were reading 85 for no good reason, except every good reason, because it was just warm outside and everything was all, balagan, as we say. So yesterday, somewhere between home and the synagogue, I kind of got into that usual thing that's happened to me all week, where I was like, too many layers, too few layers, gloves on, and as I was considering the physiology and sweat, no sweat, whatever it was, I suddenly found a little bit of panic coming on, because what I realized, beyond the weird temperature thing that's happening, is that my mobile phone was not in my pocket. Thank you. I really appreciate that support. Thank you. So it wasn't just the effects of the temperature, but they pointed something out to me, and I was halfway to the office and didn't really have time to turn around before my first meeting. And by the office, I mean the synagogue, right here. There's some offices upstairs on this floor. If you haven't been, we'll give you a tour. And it took about 15 minutes for the anxiety that just kind of got dumped on me, in addition to any of whatever I was feeling about, proper amount of layers. It took about 15 minutes for that to just like wash over me over and over and over again. But at a certain point, it occurred to me that it was starting to dissipate. This was like an amazing thing. How could I have left the house without a phone? There's appointments. I have to be at 3 different off-site appointments today, and this and this and this, and communicate. And what if Ivan needs to reach me? And what if my family? The whole thing. As the day rolled on, I had to remember, of course, to remind colleagues that I didn't have my phone in my pocket. And it continued to be, though, that the more time that passed, the less I worried about it. In the middle of the day, I even had an opportunity where I could have run home in between things. But for some reason, I was a little late to this wonderful kind of seasonal staff holiday thing we were doing. And the last thing I wanted to do was be later for that. So I chose not to pick up the phone. And I'm convinced that I would have picked up the phone. That's funny to say pick up the phone. I would have gone home to get the phone. Now it's sounding like an E.T. reference. Let's roll back on this language here. I would have retrieved my telephone. I'm convinced I would have retrieved my telephone if it had only been a half hour or something, or an hour after I left it. But 5 hours after I left the phone at home, I was in this very different headspace about the necessity of walking around with a phone attached to me in my pocket. It was a unique sense of freedom. Now, last week's Torah portion began with Yaakov, with Jacob, our patriarch, fleeing his family home because he has just stolen his brother Esau's blessing from their father. This week's Torah portion, we've already advanced in time practically a generation, because it opens with Yaakov about to reunite with his brother, his estranged brother. Yaakov has 4 partners, 12 kids. Esau, his brother Esau, has done well too. The 5th verse of the Parsha does something that the Torah doesn't always do. It tells us exactly how Yaakov felt. Vayira Yaakov me'od. Yaakov did not just have trepidation on the eve of reuniting with his brother. He had a lot of trepidation. Vayira Yaakov me'od. Me'od. Yaakov prepares a parade of gifts for his brother Esau, mostly animals. He separates the family in 2. He leaves them overnight. He wrestles with a man in the night. He receives a new name. He limps away from the encounter at dawn. This is like, I don't know, better than the gay 1970s in New York City. It was a really big night for Yaakov. And finally, in the morning, he sets out to greet his brother. Esau is so gracious to his brother Yaakov. And Yaakov did not necessarily expect this. We heard about his trepidation. He is so gracious that he doesn't even want to accept this menagerie, right? Dozens and dozens of animals coming toward him, along with the family coming and paying their respects. Each of Yaakov's partners and all the children, part of the household by part of the household, one by one. And in the middle of this series of events, Yaakov says to Esau, Ra'iti fanecha kirot pnei Elohim. Ra'iti fanecha kirot pnei Elohim. Seeing your face is like seeing the face of God. So in Torah time, in just a few dozen verses, we've gone from Yaakov praying to the God of his ancestors that he would be saved by his brother's hand, fear of his own life, to now saying something to his brother that compares seeing Esav to seeing the face of God. It's a big transition. Now, I don't want to go too much competition, between like biblical characters, but it should be noted that Moshe, right, we call the Torah the 5 books of Moses, that Moshe, our teacher, our prophet, is said to have known God panim el panim, face to face. Yet, when Moshe, stationed on the mountain, asks God to see God's face, God is abundantly clear that you do not see God's face and somehow like come out the other side okay, right? No one can see my face and live, says God in that interaction. So we presume from this that panim el panim doesn't necessarily actually mean literally seeing someone's face, but knowing something about them intimately, that Moshe had this intimate relationship, uniquely intimate relationship with God. But interestingly, we also have commentaries that suggest that panim el panim can be a military term. Think face-to-face, think hand-to-hand combat, that kind of imagery. Now, that is not a great description of Moshe's relationship with God, I don't think, though there's definitely pushback. And it's not a great answer to Yaakov saying, God, I hope everything goes well when I meet my brother. God doesn't come back and say, great, you and your brother are going to have hand-to-hand combat. Instead, something happens with this mysterious being in the night, but things really do go well for Yaakov and Esav. In the case of Moshe, Moshe asks for what he wants. I want to see your face. Show me your face. And the text tells us that God, maybe in some compromise, gives Moshe a glimpse of God's back. Any of you ever climb Mount Sinai in the peninsula, Sinai Peninsula? So you might remember there's this kind of experience you can have climbing up the mountain. About 2/3 of the way up, there's this crag in the rock, and it's associated with the place where this happens, where Moshe is kind of asked to stand, and God is going to pass over Moshe, and Moshe will somehow experience God's back, but not God's face. In the case of Yaakov, in the case of Jacob, Jacob doesn't even ask to see God's face at all. But what he does do is on the eve of reconnecting with his brother, he pours out his anxieties from his heart. Why did I leave my phone at home? How am I going to get... No, more anxieties than that, more serious anxieties than that. We can imagine, right, the prayer of like how this is could probably go so wrong. There's so many ways this could go wrong. He wanted to kill me. I took his stuff. I was wrong, but should he kill me? I mean, this is just going to be awful. He was also quite strategic in preparing material gifts for his brother. He took care of his family, Yaakov, that evening, and then was left all alone for that encounter. And after that wrestling match between terrestrial and celestial realms, he named the place where that took place Peniel, meaning the face of God, because the text tells us he had seen a divine being face to face. What's interesting is that most of our commentators don't like to say, oh yeah, Yaakov saw God face to face. It says Elohim, that's one of the words for God. Instead, they point out that Elohim can mean a lot of other things. Elohim can mean lowercase g, gods. Elohim can mean judges. Maybe Elohim can even mean angels. And maybe this is why we start to tell this story a little bit about Jacob wrestling with the angel, even though that might be an oversimplification of what happens. I want to be bold tonight and suggest that it's God, that the word Elohim here can be read as God, and that somehow or another, in some material or metaphorical way, Yaakov wrestled with God, God's self, received this new name, Yisrael, that is added onto his name and becomes the name of our people. And somehow or another, by the time he meets his brother Esav the next day, he has a whole different idea about what it means to encounter holiness. And he recognizes it right there in his brother who he had completely different expectations for, his brother who he thought would hate him, his brother who maybe he hated him, his brother for whom he poured out his prayers to God, for whom he sent dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds of animals in advance. His brother for whom he separated his family, because what if they attack this group or this group? Maybe some of them will survive. It seemed like Yaakov did whatever he could to prepare for this reunion. And whether he knew it or not, it seems like once he was done with all these preparations, when he was left on that other side of the river, he actually did something radical, which was he let it go. He let it go. He didn't perseverate on this every single moment, all the way up until the encounter with Esav. He was left alone. And something happened over the course of that night, and maybe that thing happened over the course of the night because he had made room for a different kind of reality, a different kind of experience, that had he continued to stay in this one single reality about, I'm worried, what's going to happen with my brother? It's going to be awful, please save me, save me, save me. But somehow, after he did everything he could, he recognized that and he let it go. Yesterday, as the hours went by, the sense of freedom I had from my telephone continued to be present. And they morphed into things like, oh, I'm having a real conversation over lunch, and I'm not occasionally tapping my knee and thinking we're going to look up that thing we just talked about, because how can we go through the meal without looking up whatever, Googling the such and such, right? Or walking across 34th Street and not only vaguely being aware that Macy's was across the street, but actually being like, wow, Macy's. This is a New York landmark, and people come from around the world at this season to look at this department store. And it just kind of it's an experience I didn't exactly expect to have. Earlier in the day, it occurred to me that I might have to remember a few phone numbers as well. And maybe one of the things that carrying that phone around in our pockets does to affect our immediate reality is it actually literally affects our minds in that way. Right? If you think, for those of you who have existed in realities where you remember non-cell phones, perhaps most of the phone numbers you know are phone numbers from 20, 25, 30 plus years ago. That is certainly the case for me. Maybe for me, the best opportunity was the occasion where I actually asked for help from someone else and said, hey, would you mind sending a text to so-and-so to just let them know that I'm here now but was running late, or I don't have my phone with me and couldn't reach out? Look, I don't want to compare directly my silly phone-at-home experience with the profound experience of the patriarch who our people is named after, being in this incredible life-altering experience on the eve of, then continuing with the actual reconnection with his brother. But I do think that message of changing our reality is something that carries through both from the ancient text until now. Simple math would suggest that if I'm doing this thing right now, that it's hard to do this thing right at the same time. Or if I'm really focused on this, then I can't focus on that. So by changing our reality, by changing our focus, we might notice something that we hadn't noticed before. Many of you started this week at CBST on Monday evening when we did a community town hall that we called So What Now, kind of in between Election Day and Inauguration Day. And several people in our community, Diane Burhany, Rabbi Marisa James, and State Senator Brad Hoylman-Siegel, all spent some time talking about how they've been thinking about this time in their roles and from their perspectives. And part of what I appreciated about just the 8 or 10 minutes each of them spoke for was it gave me a glimpse into a different reality. Not necessarily such a alternative universe, but kind of like, oh, that's a little something about Albany, and I'm finding a little hope there. Or this is a little something about what we know about psychology and self-care, and it's great to be reminded about this. Or here are the things that we know about immigration and the opportunities and the risks and the threats that there are right now in New York, or what we might expect in the new year, in the new administration. So sometimes changing our reality can mean going somewhere we've never been. Maybe it can mean leaving our phone at home. But maybe it can also be when we find ourselves in a situation that we didn't even plan for, something that we're anxious about, being with someone we're afraid of. That instead of running away from it, we stay in it. And we allow ourselves to feel what we feel. And we recognize that when we do that, we might learn something new. We might have a different kind of experience. By shifting our reality a little bit, we might not have all the answers. But if we make room for it, we also might find glimpses of the face of God. And I think we can all use some glimpses of the face of God right about now. So I hope we can all find some of those. Shabbat shalom, everyone. We're going to move toward the conclusion of our service with Alinu on page 140. Please rise. This week, CBST mourns the loss of Harvey J. Levinson, father of CBST member Julie Levinson Arlev, and grandfather of Dory and Risa Arlev. Of Peter Wilson, father of CBST member Elizabeth Wilson, father-in-law of CBST member Rabbi Joe Hirschman, and grandfather of CBST members Shoshana and Dahlia Hirschman. And of Francia Tobacman Smith, mother of CBST member Sasha Tobacman Smith, mother-in-law to CBST member Belinda Merrill, and grandmother to Isaac and Eli. We remember our members Randolph Donavant, Kenneth S. Schechner, Stanley Jacobs, and Michael Sabin, whose yard sites are marked this week, and family and friends of the congregation, Saul Gass, Jerry Gray, Morton Karpa, Israel Klamer, Alice Voloshin, Donald Sullivan, Shirley August, Ira Lefkowitz, Dora Spiegel, Rose Gelderman, Leah Rosen, Sylvia Carpel, Philip Passon, Francine Friedman, Ruth Strickler, and Sam Polikoff. I want to invite you, if you're thinking of anyone else tonight as we say Kaddish, to offer their name or your relationship as well. Thank you. Kaddish Yatom is on page 150. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemeh Rabbah Bialma Tivra Hirute V'amlich Malchute B'chayechon Uv'yomechon Uv'chaye D'chol Be'Israel Ba'agala Uv'izman Kari V'imeru Amen. Yehe Shemei Rabbah Mivarach Li'alam Almei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudisha B'richu Le'ela Minkol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Da'amiram Bi'alma V'yimeru Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimeru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imramav Huya Oseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'yimeru Amen. May all their memories be for a blessing. It is my great pleasure to call to the Bima CBST board member, Bonnie Pollack, and happy birthday to you and to Stacy and to Taylor Swift, and who else are the birthdays we have? All right, those are some good ones. All right, come on out. Sorry, oops. Thanks.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Oh, if you were here last week, you know that I am in the unenviable position of being, well, this is what I said. I'm like the stale deli meat in between the awesome rye bread that is Stephen Raphael, and next week, Noemi Maslia. But yet you have me here tonight, so. So welcome, happy Friday the 13th. Welcome to CBST from near and far. Thank you so much, Rabbi Klein, for your amazing service leadership and words of Torah. I would have gone back to get my phone or got a new phone. I will try that next time, but I don't think it'll work out so well for me. I'm glad it worked out for you, but we are so blessed to have you on the Bima. Cooperberg Ritmaster, rabbinical intern, and Baal Tefillah extraordinaire, Marcus Holly. I mean, it is an absolute pleasure to experience you as part of, as service leadership, as a cantorial role, as opposed to your rabbinical role. And we hope to see you again very soon and listen to your extraordinarily beautiful voice. Thank you so much. And of course, many, many, many thanks to our music director, Joyce Rosenzweig, for always elevating our Shabbat service. Always. Thank you to our online in-person greeters, Sharon and Gomez. Thank you to Jason Zivic on tech, and Jorge and the whole facility staff for your tireless efforts. So tomorrow is going to be a great day. We hope that you can join us for our second Shabbat Shalom. The first one was an outstanding day, and if you couldn't make it to that one, we really hope to see you tomorrow. We start at 10 o'clock for Shabbat services led by our two amazing Cooperberg Ritmaster rabbinical interns, Marcus Holly and Alana Krivo-Kaufman. We're looking forward to that service, and joining them will be our amazing Baal Tefillah Cantor Sam Rosen. Services are in person and in Zoom. After services, we will have lots to do. There'll be a kiddush lunch, and there'll also be a parent group meetup at the same time. So that's going to be very nice for the parents and families. There'll be community learning with Rabbi Yael Werber, discussion groups, art project, games. Listen, bring your shekels, because there may be some game playing for the benefit of CBST, let's just say. So, there'll be a pre-Hanukkah taste test with Rabbi Jason Klein. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds intriguing. And
maybe like kind of a stuff your own jelly donut.
Oh, that sounds really good. Stuff your own jelly donuts, people. And Shabbat jam music session with Cantor Rosen, so bring your instruments if you have them. We'll conclude with Havdalah services at 6:30, online and Zoom, and a lot of these programs are also going to be online for the online folks. We hope you'll join us, and we hope you'll join us in community for an amazing day. After services tonight, as the rabbi said, is Elenu's drag oneg. I've never been, but that's because I'm old. If you're in your 20s and 30s, hence the old 60 fun today. 60 fun. Not 61, 60 fun. Please join us on this final Elenu Oneg of 2024, right? With food, Jewish drag entertainment, and other surprise guests. As always, there's a tremendous amount of activity this week, which you can read all about in the e-news and website. I'm taking a page from our board president's notebook and skipping a lot of them because there's a lot to read. You'll read them. Mishpacha Monday, though, with guest board member Adam Berger is Monday at 5. Zoom link is in the newsletter, and there's a Mishpacha dinner next Friday night at 5. Registration is required. The link is always in the newsletter, and Hanukkah's coming soon, so yay. Let me end by saying this. I'm sure you've now heard that it's my birthday, and Stacy's and Taylor Swift's. When I was asked by my friends and family how I was going to celebrate my birthday this year, to me it's a no-brainer. I'm exactly where I want to be, in my happy place, with people who have become some of my dearest friends and my family. You too can be a part of this family. If you're not a member, please join. If you are a member, please become a little more active. If you can, donate a little more so that everyone can experience what we feel here. I, together with some of my fellow board members, who insert stand up here, and staff member Ruth Kleinman, Director of Membership, will be in the lobby after services for any questions that you have about CBST. We look forward to talking with you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Bunny and Stacy. Happy birthday to you.
Woo! Tonight's live stream. Tonight's live stream has been underwritten by. Let's try that again. Tonight's live stream has been underwritten by Alton Bader, who has generously and consistently supported CBST's live stream. Thank you for doing that, Alton. By Felix Wolf, in honor of CBST, the shul where I became a Jew on the occasion of my retirement and my departure from New York City. I will miss you all. Do you want to say a little bit more about that, or is that at the Kiddush? All right, we're gonna trust you talking about that. By Linda Solomon and by Bonnie Siegel. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by Anonymous, honoring Aleunu's continued importance to the strength of CBST in this community, both today and the days to come, and supported by Noemi Maslia, wishing my fellow board member extraordinaire and backgammon buddy, Bonnie Pollock, a very happy birthday. Here's to many more smiles during services. We will move toward Adon Olam on page 154. And if you're new here, by the way, the Oneg treats and stuff are downstairs. So please stick around for that. Page 154.
Adon Olam Hashem Malach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Ein Nasa B'Hetzol Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Be'acharei Kiklot HaKol Levado Yimlok Nora Ve'u Haya Ve'u Hoveh Ve'u Yiyeh B'tifara Ve'u Yiyeh B'tifara Ve'u Echad Ve'ein Sheni Lehamshilo Lehachbira V'li Reshit V'li Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ha'mizra Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ha'mizra Ve'u Eli V'chai Go'ali V'tzurem li Ve'etzara Ve'u Nisi U'manos li Menat Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Menat Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Ve'yado Avkid Ruchi Ve'et Ishan Ve'ayira Ve'im Ruchi Geviyati Adonai li Ve'lo ira Adonai li Ve'lo ira.
Kiddush is on page 156. It is our common custom to rise, but please do what is comfortable for you.
Yom HaShishi, Vayechulu Hashamayim V'Haaretz, V'chol Tevam, Vayechal Elohim Vayom HaShvi, Melakto Asher Asa, Vayishbot Bayom HaShevi'i Mikol Melakto Asher Asa. Vayevarek Elohim et Yom HaShevi'i, Vayekadesh oto, Ki vo shavat mikol melachto, Asher bara Elohim lasot. Savri havarai v'havrotai, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, V'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinkilanu, Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, Ki hu yom tehila lemikrae kodesh, Zecher litziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu v'chata, Ve'otanu kidashta, Im kohamim, Ve'shabbat kodshecha, Be'ahava uvratzon, Hinchatanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Chaim.
Well, I was sorry to hear that Nathaniel, who's recently been doing a great job holding our challah, has a cold tonight. So if you happen to be watching at home, here's the challah. We're thinking about you. Your mom is here, and we hope that you feel better really soon. Meanwhile, let's all connect up to this challah, and with wishes for abundance for everyone and all creation, we'll say together, Baruch atah. I'll take some of that.